Squad on 101sports.com. Chad Range alongside Jesse Finney. Of course, this segment brought to you by Metrogistics. Vehicle transportation solutions delivered. Now, something that sets this company apart from other companies, it's emails. Every night you get an email saying where your car is. Also, 7 days a week you can get a hold of somebody. If you're shipping your car, besides your house, that's pretty much your biggest investment. You want to know where it's at? Hey, you're a phone call away. Metrogistics Vehicle Transportation Solutions delivered. Check us out on the web, www.metrogistics.com. Now we're going to be talking about what's really going on in the UFC besides obviously the fights that have happened. We touched on the also, I have to, it pains me to give you props again, but an hour after Bobby Volker got the call, we have him on. That's Hit Squad material there, my friend.
Hit Squad 101 ESPN material.
All over it. An hour after it happens, you hear it her first. Now, this has been out there for a while, but Ronda Rousey, she's going to be taking on Miesha Tate, Las Vegas for the title, UFC 168. That's happening on December 28th. That'll be a good fight. I'm excited for Ronda Rousey.
I don't know if that's actually a good fight.
You don't think so? Why not?
I don't. I think that Ronda Rousey's superior. She only is getting better, and Miesha Tate just lost her last fight. I'm not excited about it.
Miesha's got an extra grind with Ronda.
Oh yeah, well she got her butt kicked.
Yeah, and
who doesn't? I mean, like, and Ronda Rousey keeps getting better.
Yeah, now
and you don't hear me usually say that that's a bad fight. I don't think that's a fight that I'm going to get excited about.
But who's gonna beat Ronda Rousey, I guess is the question.
Ronda Rousey. Right now.
Gonna give it one of these,
right.
Hit me, and then I see how it is. So Ronda Rousey, she might be the crown jewel of the UFC.
I think she is right now if you really look at it. I mean, absolutely.
And I guess I didn't notice, she's not on the power rankings. I mean, pound for pound, you think they would make, I mean, if she's untouchable in her weight class and in her division, you think they would give her a little props. But
yeah, but does that work? I don't know about that.
I don't know.
Does
I
it
mean,
work with the women?
I
guess obviously not.
I guess, yeah, if they're not giving her anything. But light heavyweights, Forrest Griffin, Stephen Bonner, inducted to the UFC Hall of Fame. And those two have been leaked since their legendary bout in April of 2005 on The Ultimate Fighter.
That, and everyone says, well, did that make to the UFC? Did that make the MMA? I personally, maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, but I really do. I think that's actually one of the fights that actually made the UFC. It was when the tough show came out. And those guys came out there and just battled it out, and ever since then, it's just been.
It made reality television able to watch. The Tough.
No, absolutely.
It's the one reality television show I can stand. Gilbert Melendez, he's going to be returning to the octagon, rightfully so. I don't think he's fought since he lost to.
Since he got screwed out of his last decision.
You're still on that against Henderson.
He beat Henderson 3 out of 2.
And so it's good to see him back in. I'm excited for that fight. I want, I'm pulling for him because that had to be tough.
Well, you tell me, who do you think won the fight?
I mean, flip the coin. I mean,
really?
It was.
I gave it 3-2. Henderson.
You did give it 3-2.
3-2 Melendez.
And that got into the. If it's a super close fight, it's easier to decide with the champion.
Yes, but I disagree with that.
You do disagree.
You don't have to. Oh, you gotta beat the champion. No, man, you gotta win a fight. You gotta win a fight. So I mean, we could get into all that later on, but I mean, I thought that he won the fight, and it's not you gotta beat the champion to be the champion. No, you gotta win that fight, and I thought he won that fight. Sorry to get off on another subject.
No, I mean that is, and we've talked about that ever since that fight. But Mr. Melendez does deserve another shot at him. I think.
How can you not?
I think that has to happen.
I agree with you.
The sooner the better.
I agree.
We finally agree on something here. Interim bantamweight championship, Renan Barraro defends his title September 21st. Eddie Wineland. You excited about that one?
Yes, I am. Hannah Barraro is an incredible jiu-jitsu player, but he's also an incredible leg kicker, and he's a good fighter. So that's another good fight coming up for the UFC.
And finally, Cain Velasquez, Junior Dos Santos, October 19th.
Fight had to happen.
It's the trilogy. It did. That
had to happen.
We talked about it. That was the obvious next choice.
Yes, and I think Junior Dos Santos is one of the most overrated heavyweights out there right now. I think that Daniel Cormier beats him. I think that this fight had to happen no matter what. It's a trilogy. But I think that he got lucky in beating Cain Velasquez. But I think Cain Velasquez goes out and dominates this. And I'm going on record for a lot of this stuff today. I'm just being very this is what I think is going to happen instead of just sugarcoating it.
You're being candid.
I am. And I think that there's a lot of things. I mean, you have to do the fight regardless because it's 1-1. And it's probably in their contract, really. I mean, for Junior Dos Santos to come back and say, yeah, I'll go ahead and fight him for a rematch. Because if Junior is like, man, he's probably a better wrestler than I am. He's not a better striker, but he's a way better wrestler. He's probably a better jiu-jitsu player, but it's probably in his contract that he gets an automatic rematch. Like Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva gets an automatic rematch right here with Chris Weidman.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about it. Well, it's in his contract. You can't really do anything. It says in Anderson Silva's contract, if you lose to Chris Weidman, you get an automatic rematch. Well, he's deserved that. He's been the champion for that long. I mean, for him to go out and step up and someone like a Chris Weidman, or he could start ducking and going for lesser fighters, I mean, that's what he should have in his contract, and that's what he deserves.
And the super fights are off for right now.
Super fights are off for right now.
No John Jones, Anderson Silva.
And that's what everyone was talking about, that, saying, oh, well, what about this super fight? What about this super fight? And I was the one that said, hey, man, hold on your super fights until Chris Weidman goes out and he can beat Anderson Silva. And you and I talked about that. What really happens? Here's what happens. Right now, there are no super fights.
And I think that's bad for the UFC. Everyone wants to see it. Your basic fan wants to see the best of the best.
I still think that there's a super fight that could happen. I mean, it's not going to happen before the
calendar year.
The calendar year.
Yes, it will not.
But
anymore.
let's keep talking about it. Anderson Silva's going to fight John Jones, man. I'm just telling you that. It's going to be, and if Anderson Silva goes out and loses right now to Chris Weidman, he's still going to fight John Jones. But he's just not going to fight him anytime in this calendar year. And
something you did want to talk about, and I say it all the time. It's a young man's sport. This is not a long-term job.
Hey, Dana White said it best, didn't he? Dana White says, you know what? Hey, guys, this isn't a long-term job. Save your money. Save your money. Be smart with your money. What are you going to do with it? Well, you know what? I mean, a lot of these guys are actually going out and they get, their first $50,000 they've ever made in their life, and they just blow it all.
Oh, yeah.
Well, guess what? A third of that's going to your taxes, my friend, or 20, and then you got to pay your manager, which is another 20%. You got to pay your trainers another 10%. You got to pay for your training camp. You're not going to get rich for right now. Yeah, a few of you might get rich, okay, but you got to be smart with your money. And Dana White said it best. He said, listen, this isn't a long-term job. I mean, you're gonna be in and out, possibly. So unless you're one of the very few.
And I want to switch gears and just ask you, and maybe he is, and this is kind of on the local scene for one Adam Sella. Would he be one of the guys who would be able to take a short, kind of how Bobby Volker got picked up? If someone gets injured,
yes. Absolutely.
I thought that would make sense.
That's how that works. Is
he may be not under contract with the UFC now, but he's like on a list if things.
Correct. In the contract, if we sign contracts with another organization, it's going to say we have a UFC out. So if the UFC can't come and he gets an out. So if the UFC says, hey, we'd like for you to fight coming up here short notice, the organization he signed with at the time will have to give him out, or we won't sign with that organization.
Does the same go for Justin Lawrence?
Same goes for Justin Lawrence.
So
same thing. And anything local. I mean, we got a show on August the 10th at the here's a plug for you right
there
here.
You go.
You got your plug.
We do.
The Shamrock Fighting Championships August the 10th at the Lumiere Casino, your local professional mixed martial arts in St. Louis, and that's where Adam Sella, Justin Lawrence, everyone got their start here. So, to go back to your question about Adam Sella. Yes, I mean, he could be possibly of someone that's going to be on a short notice fight.
So
now, he's got to probably get one or two more W's in his win column and to get that fight. But, I mean, he's one of the guys that, yes, they will say that here probably the next 90 days to say, hey, be ready because we're going to be calling on short notice.
As far as the Shamrock Fighting Championships fights coming up, Pro MMA in August, has that card kind of filled out at all?
Yes, the main event is going to be Kenny Porter out of St. Louis and wrestled at Merrimack. Kenny Porter is fighting another guy.
He's a guy you're really excited about.
I am very excited about him. He's a tremendous athlete, good little jiu-jitsu player, good stand-up boxer, and he's fighting a Strikeforce veteran in Josh Epps. Josh Epps is a guy that he's a tough guy who comes hard every time. So you got Kenny Porter against Josh Epps on August the 10th as the main event at the Shamrock Fighting Championships.
At Lumiere Casino, great venue, great fights. You'll definitely want to make a night of it.
If you're going to go to some local fights, and go to the place that you're not going to have any issues, and you're going to see some good, clean fights, and you can bring your family and not have to worry about any trouble. It's a great venue. Make a night of downtown St. Louis, and that's also the Cardinals Cubs that weekend as well. Spend the whole weekend down there in downtown St. Louis.
Some quick shout-outs. Happy birthday.
Thank you, buddy.
Finally 29. Unreal.
29.
Kevin Fowler. Our producer, happy birthday to him a day before. His 21st.
21st.
And he's here working and looking fantastic.
I wouldn't say fantastic, though.
All right. Agree to disagree. We'll try
Just
to do
kidding.
better next week. You can always hit us up on email. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what fights you'd like to see. Let us know where you're watching the fights. Hit Squad at 101sports.com. Follow us on Twitter at HitSquad101ESPN. We promise to try to do better. Thank you for watching the Hit Squad on 101sports.com.